20 kilometers outside the coastal town of Mombasa is to be found a factory, plantation and hatchery that are positively transforming the lives of the community in the areas in which they operate. Situated in Tiwi Kwale district in the south coast along the Mombasa Lunga Lunga Road, Kenya Bixa Limited can today proudly boast of being the pioneer producer of natural food colors in Africa and the leading supplier of natural food color in the whole world. Kenya Bixa specializes in growing of the Bixa plant, which produces food color, a final product mainly exported to markets where consumers are health conscious and demand organic foods.
Bixa and its product, which is the food color, we call them Anato, or the Anato extracts, are basically for export. I can really say we do 100% export. Asia, Europe and America. Nowadays in the world, people are going for, they are very health sensitive and are going for organic kind of food. And we think the market for natural colors will be growing, and that includes the local market as well.
With over 300 staff directly employed and many more depending indirectly on the company for sustenance either in its distribution network or in the labor force of the smallholder farmers who sell their Bixa crop to the factory, Kenya Bixa is one of the region's major employers.
We have come a long way. From the time I joined this company, the production capacity was very low and it has gone up to, we are producing now about 100 tons of Nordbixin powder. And we have also expanded so much. We have so many employees now. Previously we used to have maybe about 100 people. Now we currently employ 300, and we have out of that number 60 women in various departments. I have also lab assistants, 2 are ladies, and they're working very hard. We also have in the packing department. In that department is specifically for women because they are so keen into seeing that the raw material, the finished product is of good quality.
Increased production has meant increased expansion. This has been good news to members of the local community.
Our employees are about 300. That is, and actually the figures can go up depending on what season we are in both probably Bixa, because we go by seasons, and also poultry, then you have high and low seasons. So on average you have 300 staff. I can confidently say we have 95% of our staff coming from the local community and probably a few technical staff from outside the district. When it's technical, then we put up an advert and make sure that whoever is qualified comes in to get the best technical skills. But the other non-skilled labor we take from the local community.
Growing the Bixa plant has indeed proved a commercial success story, mainly because of proper utilization of technology through irrigation. This is besides the crop's fast growth, resistance to drought and shedding of leaves, which becomes manure for itself and other plants. And while there has already been a ready market for Bixa, this has meant better returns for the plantation and for smallholder outgrowers. For the outgrowers, Kenya Bixa uses a structured pricing scheme, usually announcing the price of the Bixa crop every season. This timely flow of information ensures those farmers deep in the villages are well informed of the prevailing Bixa prices, thus avoiding exploitation of farmers by middlemen and brokers.
Every season we'll announce a price for the farmer, which means the minimum price that a farmer can sell his crop to the agent, and then we agree on a commission to the agent. And we found out that by doing that in the last 2 years, more farmers are coming in to do the crop now because they are getting benefit out of the crop. We still encourage them to do in a plantation basis so that we have more production coming in. We actually think of doing irrigation in the same farms so that we use our own farms to really make sure we have consistent supply of the final product and therefore add to the production from farmers.
Growing Bixa is just one of the several commercial activities carried out by the company. Just like in many other enterprises started, owned and now under the steerage of the Sovereign Group, the firm believes in having different and varied revenue streams. Kenya Bixa Limited is today a leading producer of day-old chicks and chicken capons, namely the Golden Chick and Golden Chicken respectively. The company diversified into poultry in 2004 to cushion itself from the risk of relying on just one product at a time when the international Bixa market was not doing very well. Despite the fact the Bixa market has since rebounded and is the flagship business today, the poultry section has since grown into a fully fledged and integrated business sector comprising a breeding farm, hatcheries and a broiler processing unit.
We started with about 1,000 breeders or parent stock, actually what give us the hatching eggs. Since then we've grown. The Shimoni breeding farm is now about 50,000 birds, laying birds, which on an average day, if all were in production, will give you about 30,000 eggs per day. We do artificial insemination and we ensure that the best characteristics, we select the best cocks to give us the best eggs, which will now give us the best hatching day-old chicks that we now sell to our farmers. When we came to the hatchery, we started with one machine. We now have 5 machines with a capacity of 100,000 eggs per week. We have an approved slaughterhouse. We have a broiler capacity of about 100,000.
We have to be ISO certified, and that was a big challenge to us, because we have to do so many things like renovations, buying new equipment to the required standards, but we have overcome that, and now we have the ISO 9001 and also ISO 22000.
The company has grand plans for the future, including partnerships with farmers to rear day-old chicks and then market the final product locally and for export, especially in the East African market, Ethiopia and Rwanda. It is this self-same success that has been replicated at other Sovereign Group properties across the country. Dr. Kibet Chirchir, a veterinarian by profession and a graduate of the University of Nairobi, has been farm manager at the Chemusian Ngata farm in Nakuru for the last 4 years. The Chemusian farm specializes in the rearing of cattle, currently with a milk herd of some 980 animals. Most of the farm's operations are mechanized, and this means that personnel here mainly perform an overseeing function.
I came here to ensure that animals remain healthy. That is what we call adult management, and that's what I've been doing all along, because in large-scale dairy farms, we don't expect animals to get sick, but we're supposed to manage them to ensure that they don't get sick in any way possible.
Besides ensuring a ready and consistent supply of milk for large-scale consumers, the farm has also been instrumental in ensuring that consumers of raw milk in the region never encounter expensive shortages.
I started with 200 liters. That was 2004, and I gradually went up. Right now I'm doing 2,300 liters. I sell raw milk, so people who are in town come to town for business, but by the end of the day they want to resort to their homes with the and by so doing they buy my milk to go and consume in their families. Having seen that the packed milk is a little bit expensive, they prefer the raw milk.
In a supervisory role, Dr. Kibet ensures that animals remain healthy in the farm, therefore enhancing sale of meat and milk products of high quality.
I'm the only veterinarian, but I have assistants. I have 3 people who know about animal health. Most of them have certificate courses in animal health, and those are the people whom we work with to ensure that we achieve whatever we are achieving at the moment. But apart from that, there are herdsmen who take care of the cows, so they are actually our eyes to look at our animals, identify those which have problems, and then inform us about them. Then we are able to sort out any problem which we come across.
To ensure consistent and ready supply of food for the animals all year round, and thus consistent output of good quality milk products, the farm raises and stocks its own animal feed, mainly maize and hay. Ngata farm has a wide plantation of maize which is then stored as silage together with hay in case of drought. To many observers, Chemusian is unmatched in quality of mechanization and output, and only great attention to detail, an eye for quality, a consistent drive, personal motivation, and a genuine love for animals could produce the good results which are now the hallmark of the Chemusian Gata farm. It is in these areas that the farm's founders are unmatched. Company visionary and chairman of the Sovereign Group, Joshua Kulei, was born and raised in Kabarnet, a rural neighborhood complete with a rural farming community which venerated cattle. The second born in a large family, only discipline and commitment saw him able to start out and venture into business at an early age. That drive and vision is what drives the company today.
I believe if you're consistent in what you do, you make money. If you have got a good ideas, that ideas will create you money. So I believe that I used to think about it. I say, if I go through this route, I'll make money. So I started when I was a little child. Even when I was in school, also I used to sell bananas. We do what, eggs. So it is inborn.
Chemusian Farm also incorporates the Chemusian Tea Estate, a major producer of tea in the area. With over 10,000 kilograms of tea and daily output, over 450 acres of land, Chemusian is one of the major local employers in the locality.
The staff I have is ranging from the tune about 250 during low plucking to something like 400, 420 during peak plucking. Largely our staff are mainly from within. They are just the locals here. Very few from outside. I would want to put maybe a percentage, about 90% are actually locals here.
Chemusian has been an equal opportunity employer, ensuring the application of affirmative action that through employment has ensured the empowerment of women in the area.
That we have more ladies than even the men, so we are even very more gender sensitive. Almost in the ratio, about 2/3 of our pluckers are actually ladies. I manage by having also supporting staff who also assist me in running in the daily activities of the farm. I have some tea supervisors who are manning or rather in charge of the tea plucking. I also have some weighing and clerks who also assist in the weighing and recording of the individual kilos being plucked and other operations that are going on within the farm.
Besides the provision of employment, the community living around the farm has benefited greatly through the construction of shared infrastructure.
We've opened up the roads and we're also maintaining the roads. There are also schools going on around here, and we also do support the schools. So I think that the industry has really supported the surrounding. We also have a nearby health center, and we normally support them in terms of, particularly the workers, if they have a problem, we actually contribute to all their medical care.
Chemusian also maintains a large forest. This is mainly because growing of trees has also been an active part of the farm. Trees are used as windbreakers and fuel for workers and the surrounding community. Elizabeth Tumusian is the forestry officer in charge of all trees on the farm. Having studied at the famed Londiani Forestry Institute, she has set herself the lofty goal of planting up to 1 million trees on the farm.
Nashughulika na mambo ya upanzi wa miti na sana ni field activities. Miti ni muhimu kabisa kwa sababu tunapata kuni, tunapata vyakula vya ng'ombe, tunapata maji.
A few of the locals have learned the tree planting trade from working on the farm and are now financially empowered through starting tree nurseries of their own.
Katika sehemu hii tunahimiza watu wapande miti kwa sababu wengi wao walikata bila kujua umuhimu wa miti. Sasa tunawahimiza wengi wajaribu kupanda miti ili iweze kurudisha ile hali ilikuwa hapo mbeleni. Ndio pia mimi wakati mmoja niwe laureate mwingine.
It is such lofty dreams that are driving business innovations and initiatives such as these. It is such dreams that will drive the future, for only by prudent investment of resources and investment in the growth of people and nature can we ensure that we secure the future.